everybody, and welcome to this important announcement from the Dynamic GT League admins. We're going to be trying a new feature in the coming seasons, and on this video you'll find all the information about that. So watch the video, and if you have any questions at the end, feel free to get in touch with us. Remember, there's a reason it's called Dynamic GT League. Inspired by the real Aussie V8 series to reduce crashes in dangerous corners, to assist in driver awareness, wheel-to-wheel racing, and to help keep the racing fun, DGTLeague introduces the Fuzz, also known as the Knobs, that's the fuck-up zone, and the no overtaking ball bags zone. This will be a gentleman's agreement to adhere to for the benefit of us all, and ignoring the Fuzz will be punishable by penalties if it is reported. There are currently only 3 places the Fuzz will be in effect. Those have been chosen because of their risk factor. We shall now explain how the Fuzz works and show the drivers what you need to do, and show which locations the Fuzz will be in effect. The Fuzz is a designated point on a track where overtaking is not going to be allowed. Right of way is given to the car who is ahead at that point, and all cars in proximity must adhere to the agreement. This means if you are near cars that are in front of you, you will have to respect that those cars will need to fall in line and that you are already behind them. This isn't an opportunity for a sneaky overtake, and here are some examples. Overtaking can continue from after the last apex in the sequence of corners in the Fuzz. Kyoto Driving Park, Yamagiwa 2 in this direction only. The Fuzz zone highlighted, and is where the hairpin leads down to the Fuzz, and the Fuzz zone will start at the banner going across the road. Example 1, the radar is the key. Here we have an example of the radar and how it needs to be used in this situation. The car on screen is just being passed by the car on the left, but it's the radar that shows that that car is clearly ahead at the banner on the radar. That means that this pink car needs to back out of this to allow the car ahead to be in front. Each Fuzz starting point has been chosen with a distance to the corners to allow drivers to feed into position, so you do not have to slam the brakes on to allow a car to get ahead of you. So as we see, the driver can lift off and allow the car ahead to work their way in front, and then it's no overtaking through the sequence of corners until the final apex point, and then you can attempt overtaking again. Example 2, overtaking before the Fuzz. It's absolutely fine to battle all the way up to the Fuzz starting point. So as we see here, we've got 2 cars going at it, and the car on the right is going to make the move, and it is at that point that on the radar the car on the left will need to concede the position because he was behind at the start of the Fuzz. Example 3, multiple cars on approach. So here we go with a pack life example. We can see the 2 cars are battling ahead, and then the 2 cars behind are close and also battling. The car on the front right makes the move ahead at the banner, so that car now is the lead car in this train. The pink car is ahead of the blue car, so the blue car needs to allow the pink car to stay ahead, and the SRI car, I was going to say the arse car because it's got an arse on the back of it, the orangey car has to be aware that in this closer proximity that the blue car is going to have to slow down for the pink car. So it is the orange car's responsibility here to allow room for the blue car, because the blue car is behind the pink car when the pink car is at the banner, which means that when the blue car gets to the banner, the orange car is going to be behind the blue car. Okay, so it's a knock-on effect. If you are in a pack like this, you are going to have to effectively back out before you get to the Fuzz starting point. Okay, and this is where we were saying this is not the place to it's not an opportunity for a sneaky overtake. You have to be aware of what is happening in front of you, especially in close proximity like this. So from this point on, the white car is the lead car, the pink car is going to need to slot in behind it, the blue car is going to need to allow the pink car to take that place, and the orange car vice versa is going to need to allow the blue car room. Now, as I mentioned, you do not have to slam the brakes on straight away to allow this to happen. You have a bit of time before you get to the corner. Okay, let's see how this plays out. So as they make their way past the banner, the pink car slots in behind the white car, the blue car allows them to do so, and the orange car has allowed the blue car the room to do that. And then once they get to the final apex corner, they can continue battling. Here we have another example of the same corner. The car's in a slightly different configuration this time. The white car still in the lead position with the blue car alongside it, but the white car is slightly ahead. So we pause it here. So the white car is leading, the blue car is in second place. Now, in previous situations, the pink car may think that he can stay up the rear bumper of the white car. However, because of the gentleman's agreement, the pink car needs to give room for the blue car because the blue car is ahead of the pink car. This is also where the orange car is fractionally behind the pink car, and because the orange car is behind the pink car, he has to allow room for the pink car and the blue car. Again, this is not a situation for a sneaky attempt at an overtake. This is more about educating the drivers into approaching a dangerous corner and a good way of feeding into single file. So as we see this play out, the orange car has backed out a little bit to give the pink car room, the pink car is backing out a little bit to give the blue car room, and then all cars are able to slot into single file, get to the final apex and race on. I'm going to show you that same situation from a slightly different camera angle on this one. So we can see the white car is just ahead, and really you need to be already thinking at this point what is going to be happening down at the bottom of the hill. So the white car is ahead, the blue car trying to get past but is not ahead. The pink car is slightly ahead, and then you've got time to the apex of the corners to sort yourselves out and filter into position. Tokyo Expressway, South Outer Loop in this direction only. As highlighted, it's the nasty little chicane with the big curbs. The Fuzz zone starts here. It's a banner. The stanchion that goes over the road at closer view is here. There are two big green signs on it. Once you've first seen this, it's easy to spot from then on. So here we go then, heading down to the nasty chicane, the Fuzz, and we'll keep an eye out for that banner. It's the first one that goes over the road, like I said, with the two green signs. So the pink car is ahead just as we get there, so there is the banner going over the road. So the blue car needs to back out, allowing the pink car to take the road, and then single file through the corners, and then once they're through the second part, they can go on the attack. So here's that same situation, but from a car slightly further back. So the pink car leading, the blue car trying to close in. When they get to the start of the Fuzz, we'll see that the pink car is clearly ahead. However, I want to point out something extremely important, and that is that in comparison to the Yamagiwa example, the two following cars are further back. So in this situation, there is room for the blue car to slot in behind the pink car without either of the two cars behind them having to slow down. This means that the two cars behind can continue their battle up to the start of the Fuzz zone. And in this instance, the white car has got ahead of the orange car at the start of the Fuzz zone, so the orange car would need to concede the position. And that's exactly what the orange car does, concedes the position. The white car was ahead, they were far enough away from the blue and the pink car to continue their battle. Example 4, multiple cars wide on approach. As we'll see in this video clip, we're going to go 3 wide. Now, I would say that if this was a racing situation, I would be recommending that the blue car should not be attempting an overtake here. They are on way too tight a line, so the blue car should really already be conceding, but for the benefit of us, is being a bit mental. Okay, so those 3 cars have reached the start of the Fuzz zone, and this is now very important because the pink car is ahead, the orange car is in 2nd place, and the blue car is in 3rd place. But the blue car and the orange car have to be able to feed back in the correct positions. However, going 3 wide, they may find it difficult to see on their radar that they are 3 wide. And this is why I would very much recommend you don't go 3 wide heading towards a Fuzz starting point. It could create problems. Also, for the white car here following, this white car needs to be aware that at the Fuzz point there needs to be space for all 3 of the cars in front of them. So the white car is going to need to be prepared to leave space for the orange car and the blue car, which means any cars behind the white car is also going to have to leave space for them and the white car. Now, as this plays out, you'll see the blue car is backing out of this. They were in 3rd, it's allowed space for the orange car, and the white car has left space for the both of them. I'm just going to take us back to the start of the Fuzz Fuzz starting point at this track, because I want to explain a little bit of a situation, and that is that if the 3 cars ahead were positioned slightly differently, for example the blue car was the car that was in 1st, then at the Fuzz point the blue car would be the car that is entitled to take the lead. The other 2 would have to concede. In a normal situation, it could be said that the blue car would have to brake earlier, slow down earlier for the corner. However, with a Fuzz zone or a Fuzz area, things work a little bit differently. At that point, they're the car ahead, they have the lead. There is enough room from the Fuzz starting point to the corner for all the cars to filter in position and get the cars slowed down in time, and that is why we have a specific point. On this occasion, obviously the blue car is not ahead and has to back out of it, and that is what would potentially happen in a normal racing situation at a corner like this, because a car in the blue car's position would have too tight a corner to make. So what we see happen here is what should happen in a normal racing situation. The blue car is going to be too tight through the corners, so has to slow down first. Goodwood is the 3rd location the Fuzz will be implemented, and it is going to be the 2nd race of the DGTCC, and it's the chicane of the final corners. The Fuzz zone will start at the yellow flowers on the left hand side of the track, as highlighted on the pictures. So, on approach to the final few corners at Goodwood, we go through the last of the quickish right-handers, and then we can see the bunch of flowers on the left-hand side. So at that point, the orange car is ahead. So just like all of the other examples, the white car is going to need to slot in behind the orange car. The blue car is too close, so he's going to have to leave room for the white car, and the pink car is going to also have to leave room for the blue car, given how close they are to the cars ahead. So once again, with close proximity, all cars have to respect the Fuzz zone. So the pink car can't just go chucking it way past the blue car and going, I'm okay, I'm ahead, because you won't be. So as this plays out, you'll see pink car allows blue car room to allow white car room, and it is a knock-on effect. Get past the last apex and then you can battle. What if we are side by side at the Fuzz starting point with no clear car ahead? In that situation, the car that is attempting the overtake is the car that must concede. It will be viewed that you were not ahead while attempting the overtake, even if you think you have edged ahead at some point. If it's tight or too close to call or any doubt, our view will be, and yours should be, in favour of the car that was clearly ahead before the fuzz. So if you are the attacking car and you haven't clearly got ahead, you need to concede. One of the reasons we say that you will be the driver that needs to concede is because even if on your radar for a fracture of a second you have seen yourself be ahead, it's possible that the other person may not have seen that moment of change. So this is why we're going on clear ahead. Okay, I'm going to show a couple of examples of that. So here we have the pink car and the orange car. The pink car is attacking the orange car, and we can see on the radar that the orange car is clearly ahead at this point. Moving down to the fuzz starting point, and the banner is right above us, you'll see that on the radar these two cars are now pretty much side by side. Looking at the radar at a glance, it's impossible to say who should be in front and who should not. And that is why we will be sticking to the rule of the car that was attacking has not got past, therefore should concede. So if there's any potential doubt or if it's close, the attacking car is the car that should concede. What if someone is slow past into or in the fuzz area? Well, if a driver is a bit slower in the fuzz area than you, then you must respect the agreement. You thinking you're faster is no excuse to ignore the fuzz. However, if a car is unnaturally slow or extremely slow, i.e. they are recovering from a crash, then you may attempt to pass them, but you must do it safely. The responsibility is on you. Will there be any other locations the fuzz will be used? Well, at this time, no. However, if a corner fulfills the admin's requirements for consideration, then it will be looked at. Will the fuzz always be in place at those three tracks shown? Well, the use of the fuzz will be car dependent. However, we will want drivers to practice using the fuzz when at these three tracks in random and fun lobbies. If you have any questions about the fuzz, feel free to message the Dynamic GT League page. We'll answer anything that we can. Also, you may also have to confirm that you've seen this with a ball bag. And just to clarify as well, Goodwood Race 2 in the DGTCC, the fuzz will be in effect at that location.